I don't know, man. I am just in shock on what I just seen at the end of NXT TakeOver Toronto. A lot to take in. Honestly, a lot to take in. There is more questions than answers coming out of TakeOver. A lot of questions, which I will try to answer all those questions in this particular review. If you guys enjoyed NXT TakeOver Toronto 2, smash that like button. Just smash that like button. Also, leave a comment down below. NXT is better than WWE. Facts. Completely fucking facts. Like I said, there's a lot of questions that has to be answered coming out of this takeover. Why didn't Strong win the North American Championship? Why didn't O'Reilly and Fish win the NXT Tag Team Championships? Why is NXT so good? Why is NXT so good? What is the NXT Championship match planned for TakeOver Chicago? What are they going to do with War Games? What are they going to do with War Games? What is about to happen at NXT TakeOver Chicago? What's going to happen? What's the NXT Championship match? What's going to be the North American Championship match? What's going to be the NXT Tag Team Championships is going to be? Who's going to be competing in War Games? Who's going to be competing in War Games? I don't know. With Matt Riddle fucking up with his social media situation, how do you bring back Ciampa? I'm going to try to bring a lot of answers to those questions right here on this review. On this official NXT TakeOver Toronto review and results. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm your boy Chris. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into the channel on this Saturday, August 10th, 2019. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into the channel. If you guys enjoyed NXT TakeOver Toronto 2, hit that thumbs up, leave a comment down below. What are your thoughts of NXT TakeOver Toronto 2? And also, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to show your support by hitting that subscribe button down below and turn those bells for all notifications. Check out episode 47 of the Reality Podcast that was uploaded yesterday. Episode 48 that was uploaded earlier this afternoon. NXT review and also SmackDown review as well. All those videos will be in the annotation above that you see on the upper right hand corner of your screen. This is the official home of the Reality Podcast, so make sure you are connecting with me on social media. Twitter, Chris from Loring, and Snapchat, Chris Most Hated. And there is my whole entire schedule. Monday with Raw Review. Tuesday with SmackDown Review. Wednesday with NXT Review. Thursdays, we have episodes of Crash Team Racing, Road to Glory. And Friday, Saturday, Sundays, you guys get episodes of the Reality Podcast right here on the channel. Let's go ahead and talk about NXT TakeOver Toronto number 2 right here on the channel. Coming into this takeover, there was a lot of speculation on what the third fall is going to be. People were predicting Hell in a Cell. People were predicting at least a steel cage. People were predicting a ladder match, which I thought they was going to go to begin with. At the beginning, I thought it was going to be a ladder match. Then I changed my mind. It was going to be Hell in a Cell because, you know, having NXT doing Hell in a Cell, it would be a big thing. It would be a big thing. But that wasn't the case tonight. William Regal's third fall was the barbed wire steel cage match. The last time we saw a barbed wire steel cage match on WWE was No Way Out 2005 between JBL and The Big Show feuding over the WWE Championship during JBL's 10-month reign as WWE Champion. That match was actually pretty good, if you ask me. That match was pretty good. There was, coming into TakeOver, was Ciampa going to show up? We didn't see Ciampa at all tonight. We didn't see Ciampa at all tonight. Now, I did get the match order completely right. I did. I predicted the NXT Tag Team Championships to go first. Io and Candice second. Then the triple threat match going on third. The NXT Women's Championship going on fourth. And the NXT Championship main event, best 2 out of 3 went last. Of course it would. But I did forget to mention on the preview and predictions about Matt Riddle showing up and brawling against Killian Dane. Because they're going to have that match on Wednesday. No, they already had that match already. It's only a matter of time before they fight again. But before we review NXT TakeOver Toronto, I have this to say. I respect Cody. I respect Cody for what he's done for the indie scene. I respect for what he's doing now with All Elite Wrestling. But there's one little thing that Triple H did tonight if you guys didn't catch on. Tonight, Triple H did a specific thing with not by like showing up at the fucking show, not being in front of camera. Triple H and William Regal put together a barbed wire steel cage match for the third and final fall. If you guys saw the cage lowering, or if you guys saw the fucking kickoff show where Regal announced that the third fall was going to be a barbed wire steel cage, Regal did say on NXT on Wednesday, Johnny, Cole, you better be prepared. Nobody saw a barbed wire steel cage match coming to fruition. Everything, and this is a attention to detail, everything inside that cage represented Jon Moxley. Everything inside that cage represented All Elite Wrestling. And everything that cage had represented blood and guts. Somewhere in Long Island, New York, Mick Foley had a smile on his face from ear to ear. Literally. Mankind, Cactus Jack has to be smiling from above. This takeover was really, really good. I love this show. This show was just fantastic. But right now, if I'm Cody Rhodes, you woke up a sleeping giant that is Triple H. You just started All Elite Wrestling. And I know AEW is going to be very successful. I know they will. They're in the right hands. I know for a fact that one day AEW will be very, very successful. But you woke up a sleeping giant in Triple H. Cody, in my honest opinion, I respect you and everything else. But this is a war. If you're going to have a war against Triple H, believe me, you won't win. You can win the war against Vince because Vince doesn't give a fuck. All Vince cares about is the money in his pockets. That's all he cares about. You don't have to worry about Vince. Vince is somebody, Cody, you don't have to worry about. It's Triple H. It's somebody that you have to worry about. Because the simple fact that what you did at Double or Nothing during your entrance started something that you cannot take back. I don't care if it was for entertainment purposes. I don't care if Cody did it just to take a shot at Triple H. I don't care. Now, I'm going to watch both AEW and WWE. Obviously, I'm going to watch both. Because I'm a fan of professional wrestling. But Cody, you started a war that you cannot finish. Triple H is going to let NXT do his talking. Triple H is going to let all the guys and girls down at the Performance Center do all the talking. Cody, I hope you have a backup plan. Because the more you throw shots towards Triple H, the more he's going to have one up on you. There's no adage that states, Mr. Rhodes, don't bring a knife to a gunfight. Just don't. Because the results there are not going to be pretty at the end of the war. I am excited for this war between AEW and WWE, or to be more specific, AEW and NXT. There's no question about that. This war is going to be entertaining. This war is going to be a brutal, crazy war. And I can't wait for it. People are going to sit there and ask me, Was this show better? Was this the best show of 2019? Did this show top Double or Nothing? If you were to sit there and ask me, I would say yes. I would say yes. NXT TakeOver Toronto topped Double or Nothing. It did. It did. The two women's matches, well, Io and Candice had a fantastic match. Shayna and Mia, their match was okay. I'm not going to say it was great. It was okay. Mia looked good in this match. She looked good at some point. She looked good. But the match was just slow. Which we'll talk about on the review. The NXT Tag Team Championship match, fantastic match. We're going to talk about the winner in just a second. Io versus Candice, probably one of the best women's matches in 2019. If not, it is the best women's match in all of 2019. Triple threat match for the North American Championship, perfectly booked. But again, I ask. We'll talk about the winner later on. Then we get Shayna versus Mia for the NXT Women's Championship. The match was okay. It wasn't great. It was okay for what it was. And then the main event, the best 2 out of 3 falls match for the NXT Championship. That match was just hellacious in itself. We'll talk about everything here on the official review. But I did say on my preview and predictions that if you want to start the show hot, white hot, hot fire, you have to start this match, the show, with the NXT Tag Team Championship match between the Street Profits and Undisputed Era. That's exactly what they did. This match was fantastic. Loved every single minute of this match. I do have to question the winner of this match. We'll go over it right now. Ford came back and got Crocs as Fish hit a super exploder. And Kyle did a knee across the back of the knee, across the back of his knee, and put on an Achilles lock. That was a nasty spot there. Ford is trying to get to the ropes, but Fish came in and stopped him. Dawkins then came in and wasted Kyle, and the fans chanted NXT. This crowd was hot for this match. The crowd was on fire for this match. Dawkins came in and used Kyle as a prop. His cleaning house that I mentioned, he has gotten really good. Angelo Dawkins is fantastic in the ring. Montez Ford, he's very underrated in the ring. Very underrated. He ran into Kyle's knee, but Ford made an attack and hit a blockbuster from the top. Fish broke it up. This is fantastic at all. The fans are loving this as they should. After a lot of abuse, Montez and Kyle are in there until Ford did a flying senton over the top to the floor. When they got back in the ring, Ford came off the top rope and scored the pinfall and retained the tag team titles. Great stuff to start the show. The Era won't be leaving with all the gold tonight due to the fact that Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish lost in their match against the Street Profits. Can I ask, why did the Street Profits retain the NXT Tag Team Championships? That's the first question of the night that I gotta ask. Why did the Street Profits retain the NXT Tag Team Championships? Now, I wouldn't mind if they lost the titles here tonight to Fish and O'Reilly. I wouldn't mind it. Because Cole, back in December, announced a prophecy of everybody in Undisputed Era being draped in gold. You have one more takeover to do that. You have one more takeover to have Undisputed Era carry all the gold. If anything, I would have had Fish and O'Reilly win this match, and then the Street Profits get called up to the main roster. Because it's not going to make sense if you have the Street Profits as NXT Tag Team Champions being featured on Monday Night Raw in backstage segments. Can I ask, what is the point of having NXT Tag Team Champions on Monday Night Raw when you're not going to feature them in the ring? Why are they there? That's what I want to know. Yes, a little sprinkle of negative here. I'm just saying. It doesn't make any sense at all to have the Street Profits go into Monday Night Raw doing backstage segments as your NXT Tag Team Champions. If that was the case, you could have had the War Raiders, Hanson and Rowe, go into Monday Night Raw doing backstage segments, or feature them in the ring at least, while they're NXT Tag Team Champions. Now I ask next, who is the next tag team? Another question. Who is the next tag team to go up against the Street Profits for the NXT Tag Team Championships? Unless if you're giving me Street Profits versus Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan, take my money. Take my money. The one match I don't want to see is the Street Profits against the Forgotten Sons for the NXT Tag Team Titles. That match I don't want to see. That match I don't want to see. I'd rather see the Street Profits against Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan for the NXT Tag Team Titles at TakeOver Chicago in front of that hot crowd, in front of that smart crowd in Chicago. Do you want to book them next? You want to book Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan as your next contenders for the NXT Tag Team Titles? You do it at fucking TakeOver Chicago. Or do you have Undisputed Era win the NXT Tag Team Titles on NXT TV? Because you know for a fact Undisputed Era is going to be featured in War Games. And you have plenty of time. You got the rest of August, all of September, and all of October to have Undisputed Era's Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish to win the NXT Tag Team Titles. You're not going to book an NXT Tag Team Title match at TakeOver Chicago. You just not. Unless if you're booking Street Profits against Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan. Which, that match, I would not mind. I would love, as a matter of fact. Match was fantastic. I had Undisputed Era win here, but I was wrong here. Street Profits retained the NXT Tag Team Titles in what was a fantastic match. Ford and Dawkins looked fantastic in this match. They looked really, really good in this match. All four guys looked really, really good in this match. Really good. I thought the crowd was hot during this matchup. Everybody got their shit in, but at the end of the day, Street Profits retained the NXT Tag Team Titles. Next up on the card, Io Shirai versus Candice LaRae in a one-on-one match. Mind you, Io versus Candice is not only a grudge match, there's no titles on the line. There's no titles on the line during this match. They're just a regular one-on-one grudge match. This match between Io and Candice was fucking fantastic. I love the fact that Candice is getting an opportunity to compete at a TakeOver because we rarely see Candice in the ring, especially on NXT TV. She's great in the ring. She's great in the ring. She's fantastic. She's fantastic in the ring. Io, she's great in the ring. This match was just a 5-star classic, if you ask me. For a women's match that had no titles on the line, no number one contendership or nothing, this was a 5-star classic. 5-star classic. This match was just... When you see Io give Candice a Spanish fly, which looked fantastic, by the way. Io delivering Candice a Spanish fly was a fantastic display to watch. Just fantastic. Who would have thought a heel Io would do a Spanish fly? If they did not show either a Spanish fly or a Canadian destroyer at TakeOver tonight in Toronto, I was going to be pissed off. Well, not that pissed, but still pissed off to a certain point. I love the fact that they used a Spanish fly during a women's match. Charlotte, on the main roster, sometimes she uses the Spanish fly. Sometimes Andrade, on the main roster, he uses the Canadian destroyer. And it looks good. It looks good. Io versus Candice, this match was just fantastic. I mean, come on. This match was better than any single main roster women's match this whole entire year. I don't care. I don't care. If you was to ask me, was this match better than Becky and Asuka? Yes. Was this match better than Sasha and Ronda back at the Rumble? Yes. Yes. Just because of who those two women are. Despite the fact that Sasha and Ronda had a fantastic match back at the Rumble, and Becky and Asuka delivered a great women's match at the Rumble this past January, this match was just as better than those two matches put together. Yes, yes. You heard me right. You heard me right. This match was just great. This match was just great. They fought for about close to 15 minutes. This match was just fantastic. I love the spot where Io gave Candice the Spanish fly. It looks fucking pretty. It looks like Picasso drawing a fucking painting. Just a masterpiece at its finest. Io went for a 619 but got caught and nailed with a neck breaker. Candice hit some sweet moves. She is shining. They were amazing in the back and forth before finally putting Candice to sleep. For anyone who wondered about LaRae, wonder no more. She can go. She showed herself to be just like her husband. All heart. Io got the win, but there is no losers here. Great, great stuff. This match was just fantastic. I loved it. Listen, if I have to go back and watch NXT TakeOver, Toronto, I would. I would watch NXT TakeOver Toronto again. I would. Io gets a victory over Candice. What happens with Io next? I have no idea. Now, Io wins here. Obviously, you have to build up the Io heel. The heel Io. Yeah, try saying that 5 times. Heel Io. Try saying that 5 times. Io got the victory here tonight. She got the victory, as expected. She got the victory tonight. What is next for Candice LaRae? You got to build her up again. You got to build her up to a point where if Shayna retained the NXT Women's Championship tonight, Shayna's next opponent is going to be Candice. It's going to be Candice. No question, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, is Shayna getting called up to the main roster? I don't know. After what happened tonight, I don't know. She possibly can. There were rumors going around that Becky's next feud could be against Shayna Baszler or could be against Sasha Banks, depending on what happens tomorrow night and on Monday Night Raw on Monday. Depends. It depends what happens tomorrow night at SummerSlam and Monday night on Raw in Toronto, because SummerSlam, Raw, and SmackDown are going to be in the ScotiaBank Arena in Toronto. NXT TakeOver Toronto. No, NXT TakeOver Chicago. Which is the last takeover of the entire year. Which is the last takeover of the year. I am booking Candice versus Shayna for the NXT Women's Championship. And then have Candice have the one to beat Shayna. Shayna gets called up to the main roster just in time before the Rumble. And you have Io versus Candice for the NXT Women's Championship at TakeOver Tampa WrestleMania weekend. I think it'll be fantastic. I think it will be just fantastic if you ask me. I think it will be fantastic if we get Io versus Candice this time for the NXT Women's Championship at TakeOver Tampa. Or you can book it at TakeOver Houston Royal Rumble weekend. You can book it like that. That's what I would do, but this match is fantastic. I loved it. Io gets a victory over Candice LaRae. Before the next match, the Bro came out. Matt Riddle came out of the crowd. He called out Killian Dane. Dane came out of the crowd too. They had an insane they had an insane brawl all around the building. It ended with them in a pile on the floor. Great stuff. Dane and Bro tore it up. Now, obviously, they was gonna feature Matt Riddle at TakeOver because obviously he's not gonna miss a TakeOver. He's not gonna miss a TakeOver. So I thought it was good. I thought the brawl was good. Both men got their shit in. There you go. Now on to the next one. We see the Evolved Champion Austin Theory in the crowd. Oh, he's very special. I love Austin Theory. He's just amazing. I love him. I think one day Austin Theory will be headlining a TakeOver. One day. Velveteen Dream is defending the North American title against Roddy and Pete Dunne. Now, I love the Dream's entrance. It involved the Mountie and the NBA champion Raptors. Loved it. Roddy came out next, and the Bruiserweight. Peeps seemed to like him best. Or, well, maybe they love Dream as well. Listen, I love Toronto. The crowd was amazing. No doubt the crowd's going to be good tomorrow for SummerSlam. It's going to be really, really good. I can't wait. Well, not for the show. The crowd is going to shit all over SummerSlam tomorrow. It's going to shit all over it. NXT North American Championship, Velveteen Dream versus Roderick Strong versus Pete Dunne in a triple threat match. This match was great. This was a great match. This match was perfectly booked. But I ask again about the winner of this match. You didn't have Fish and O'Reilly win the NXT Tag Team Championships. Roderick Strong did not win the North American Championship. Velveteen Dream retains the North American Championship. But I did say on my preview and predictions video last night that Pete Dunne was going to be the one to get pinned. And he did. He got pinned. He got pinned by the Velveteen Dream. Velveteen Dream pinned Pete Dunne. Here, this match was just fucking great. I said this on the preview and predictions part yesterday of the podcast. Pete Dunne was not even needed to be in this match. It was supposed to be Roddy versus Velveteen Dream one-on-one for the North American Championship. That match was going to be fantastic. Having Pete Dunne in this match was going to be a whole lot better. It was going to make the overall match that much better. Pete Dunne did an amazing job in this match. He did an amazing job during this match. There was a point in that match where I thought Pete Dunne was going to win the North American Championship when he hit the bitter end. But I think it was Roddy or I think it was Velveteen Dream that stopped the referee from counting the 1, 2, 3. That was from counting the 1, 2, 3. Pete cracked both their fingers and hit the bitter end, but Dream stopped the ref Yeah, I got that right. Okay. So Pete cracked both of their fingers, hit the bitter end, but Dream stopped the referee to save his title. Dunne went to work on Dream during that nasty stuff Pete does. This is so good. The finish, so Roddy have Dunne pinned, but Dream came up the top rope and stole the win. This was so good. Words can't even describe how much I enjoyed it. I hope you are watching and enjoyed it as well. This match was great. This match was perfectly booked. Pete Dunne was going to be the guy that was going to get pinned. It was only either Dream or Strong that was going to pin Dunne and win the North American Championship. Velveteen Dream retains the North American Championship. Now, who does Velveteen Dream face next? Does he face Pete Dunne one-on-one? Does he face Roddy one-on-one? I don't know. Does this happen at NXT TV? Or does this happen at TakeOver Chicago Survivor Series weekend? I don't know. There's a lot of questions that has to be answered. If I'm booking the Velveteen Dream losing the North American Championship, it has to be at TakeOver Chicago. Who am I booking? Velveteen Dream the face against Roderick Strong. And then you give us Roddy versus Pete Dunne at TakeOver Houston Royal Rumble weekend for the North American Championship. And then you can give me a 5-star classic between Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne. There you go. So for the Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, they either win the titles at NXT TV or somehow, some way it happens at TakeOver Chicago or War Games, or with the North American Championship, you can have Roddy versus Dream at TakeOver Chicago, have Roddy win the championship, Dream gets called up to the main roster, and then you put Roddy versus Pete Dunne at TakeOver Houston Royal Rumble weekend. So far, so good. Dream retains the NXT North American Championship in a fantastic match. Shayna Baszler defends the NXT Women's title against Mia Yim. I'm not going to lie to you. this match was boring. There was some point during this match where I fell asleep. There was at some point during this match where I fell asleep. I'm falling asleep during a Shayna Baszler match at a TakeOver. Forgive me, Triple H. I have committed a sin. I apologize. But after watching this match, yes, Mia Yim did look good. She did. She looked good. She looked good. At the same time, she didn't even, after watching this matchup, Mia Yim didn't even look ready at all for this match. She didn't even look ready. She looked good. Don't get me wrong. Shayna made her look good. We was all hoping that Shayna can do something to Mia that us, the fans, we're not seeing in Mia. Don't get me wrong. She's good in the ring. It's just that her gimmick is something that I'm not understanding. Yeah, sure, you came from the hood, and now you're in NXT, and you want to be that defender that everybody loves. You just lost to Shayna Baszler. Clean. Without Jessamine Duke and without Marina Shafir. So if anything, this makes Shayna look even that much better. Shayna can beat somebody one-on-one. And that's what Shayna Baszler did tonight. She did. Although I must say this match was just boring. But Shayna Baszler won. She makes Shayna tap out. It was either tap, snap, or crack. Shayna made Mia tap. Tap. Match was good though. I mean, it was okay for what it was. It was okay for what it was. I'm not gonna say it was a bad match. I'm not gonna say it was a fantastic match. It was okay. It was okay for what it was. Out of 1 to 5 stars, I'm giving this match at least a 2. At least a 2. I'm being generous here. 2 stars. I'm being generous here. From 1 to 5, I'm giving it a 2. Giving it a 2 here. Shayna threw some strikes for a 2 count. Mia is selling that she's hurt, but she came back and locked on a tarantula. She went up and got kicked by the champ. Shayna went for a suplex on the second rope, but her arm gave out. Mia hit Avalanche Cold Blue for a 2 count. Sweet spot there. Sweet spot there. But then Shayna locked on a clutch. Mia broke it by going after the battle arm. She then stomped on Baszler's arm and said it was karma. I love that spot too. She was looking to lock on the armbar. She got it, but the champ rolled out and locked in the clutch. She did it all the way, but she used the legs to lock in the triangle, and Mia tapped out. Shayna retains and showed that she can work any type of style. This match was okay for what it was. At the end of the day, this match was just okay for what it was. There's just something missing in Mia that I'm not understanding. There's something missing in her. Something is missing. Finally, guys, we get to the main event here. Gargano versus Cole, best 2 out of 3 for the NXT Championship. Now, Johnny did bring up a point during the NXT TakeOver kickoff show. The last time Johnny was in TakeOver in Toronto, he competed in the best 2 out of 3 and won the NXT Tag Team Titles. And not only that, that was the match of the year for 2016. One of the greatest tag team matches I have ever seen, with the Revival and DIY best 2 out of 3 for the NXT Tag Team Titles. One of the greatest tag team matches I have ever seen in my lifetime watching professional wrestling. So I love how they brought that up. Now everybody's speculating, oh, Undisputed Era didn't win the NXT Tag Team Titles. Undisputed Era didn't win the North American Championship. Everybody on social media was going crazy. Was Adam Cole going to retain the NXT Championship? I said it on Twitter. After having Fish and O'Reilly fail, Roddy fail, it's possible that Cole loses the NXT Championship and then Undisputed Era gets called up to the main roster. That is not the case. After watching this matchup, that is not the case. We can breathe a heavy sigh of relief after watching Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano nearly kill each other for over an hour. This was one of the best main events ever. Now, you're going to ask me either on Twitter or down below in the comment section, or somebody's going to ask me this on Twitter. Was this best 2 out of 3 falls match at NXT TakeOver Toronto the best match those two men have ever had against each other? No. No. TakeOver New York is the best match they've ever had because that match told a story. They had to finish the story about Gargano winning the title. That's it. So TakeOver New York is 1. Number 2 happened tonight. And number 3 was NXT TakeOver 25. Now, after this 2 out of 3 falls match, are we getting another Adam Cole Gargano match? No. No. That steel cage match tonight was the end. Was the end of that feud between Gargano and Cole. It's the end. It's the end here. After this match tonight, I do not want to see another Cole Gargano match again. I don't. Unless that happens on the main roster, I don't know. All I know is I'm done. After 3 matches, I'm done. You cannot, and I'm going to repeat this again, you cannot tell me that this match, this feud, has to be the best feud of 2019. NXT TakeOver New York, that main event between Cole and Gargano to crown a new NXT champion, is going to be the best match they've ever put out in 2019. Best match of 2019, Cole, Gargano, TakeOver New York, NXT Championship. That's it. Cole, Gargano, best feud of 2019 when it comes to the NXT awards. Cole and Gargano will win for best match, which is back in New York, and best feud of 2019. This best 2 out of 3 falls match tonight, I enjoyed every single minute of it. I sat on this chair watching the pay-per-view the entire time. You never heard me sit up during the entire fucking match. That's how it got my attention. Especially when everybody is speculating what the third fall is for William Regal's third fall stipulation. And William Regal did say to Cole and Gargano, you better be prepared. So it's Johnny versus Cole, 2 out of 3 falls match, NXT Championship. The first fall, which they didn't even announce what was going to be the order, which I was head scratching a little bit. Don't they normally announce what's going to be the first fall and the second fall? They didn't do that all tonight, which, you know, it's a little disappointing. So the first fall we found out was going to be Cole's fall. A regular one-on-one match. Cole wins by disqualification. The match was great. That match was good. Second fall, street fight. Gargano wins the second fall. Third and final fall, we see a cage full of weapons, barbed wire, steel chair, kendo sticks, fucking sledgehammer, everything but the kitchen sink in that cage. Everything but the kitchen fucking sink. Somewhere in Long Island, New York, Mick Foley has a smile from ear to ear. Somewhere in Jacksonville, fucking Jon Moxley is pissed the fuck off. Nothing but facts. I'm surprised they didn't fucking include the kitchen sink during this match. Remember how Vince used to say it back then? They included everything except the kitchen sink. I would have been much more satisfied if they brung the kitchen sink to this match. My God. That third fall, Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. Especially on that last fucking spot. Where there's 2 tables against each other. There's 2 tables sitting against each other. And there's a ladder set up next to it. And then there's a board on one of the corners of the cage. So Gargano got pliers. And this is the most sickest part of the entire match. Gargano got pliers from a brown bag. I think it had handcuffs. I believe it had brass knucks. And it also had pliers. Gargano is climbing up the top of the cage, cutting the barbed wire that is sitting on top of the cage. Because in the matchup, there's no escape. The match can only end by pinfall or submission. Which I'm like, okay, there's going to be a winner here. There's going to be a winner here. There's bound to be at least a winner here, right? So Gargano has this handful of barbed wire. Comes back down. Cole is already on top of the cage already. Gargano climbs back up on top of the cage. They both go at it. They are standing on top of this board. Mind you, Gargano has the fucking pliers and the barbed wire on his right hand. I think his left hand. So Gargano and Cole, they're grabbing each other, trying to see who's going to push who. At the end of all of it, Gargano and Cole fall 20 feet from the top of the cage where the board is at all the way to the table. Now, obviously, they landed through the far side of the table, not the inner side of the table. They only went through one table. So obviously, at that point, they fucked up the fucking table placement. Gargano fucked up on the table placement. They were supposed to go through both tables. They only went through one. Which is the outside part of the table. There were two tables here. Gargano and Cole went through this table, and this table was just perfectly safe. So they go through the cage. No, not the cage. They go through the table. Both men are out. Gargano is typically done. Looked dead. Done. Cole crawls with one arm up, covers Gargano. 1, 2, 3. The match is over. My God. Adam Cole retains the NXT Championship. By himself, without no Undisputed Era. Attention to detail again. Adam Cole did not need Undisputed Era to win this match. He did not. He did not need Undisputed Era to win this match. He beat Cole fair. He beat Gargano fair and square. This 2 out 3 falls match lasted almost an hour. And am I going to sit here and complain? Fuck no, I'm not. Now, I'm looking at the group chat here on Twitter that I'm in. And if I can find it. Okay, so Matt, if you're watching, shout out to you, bro. Matt asked, what about Ciampa? Will he return in time for TakeOver Chicago in November and be NXT champion again? Is this the last time we see Gargano in NXT? No. And I will answer why in just a second. This is how I'm booking NXT TakeOver Chicago when it comes to the NXT Championship. Now, with everything that's going on with Matt Riddle, with him, still trolling on social media, shit like that. Originally, it was supposed to be Matt Riddle versus Adam Cole tonight for the NXT Championship at TakeOver Toronto. Tonight. That wasn't the case. Because of what Triple H saw in Matt Riddle and his trolling on Goldberg on social media, Triple H had to obviously teach him a lesson. Social media is a powerful tool, my friend. A very powerful tool. I use social media, I use Twitter to grow my channel. It's that simple. Oh, and by the way, for all you virgins out there that fucking got DJ Storm's Twitter account suspended, this is a big fuck you. Suck my dick. Anyways. It was supposed to be Riddle and Cole for the NXT Championship tonight, but that never happened. So instead, we got Gargano and Cole, 3. Best 2 out of 3. Cole picks a stipulation, Gargano picks the other, and if it goes to a third fall, Regal will announce the third fall. So you got Adam Cole retaining the NXT Championship. Who is his next opponent going to be? I'll give you one clue. He just came out of neck surgery. There were rumors going around that he was going to be cleared by mid-August. We're technically already in mid-August. I bet you money during the next few set of tapings, we will find out that Tommaso Ciampa has been officially cleared to come back and wrestle. And when he comes back, Triple H is going to give Ciampa, or at least build him up, build up Ciampa, and then you give me Cole and Ciampa for the NXT Championship at TakeOver Chicago. Now, this is how I'm doing this. This is how I'm doing this. Cole, Ciampa, TakeOver Chicago for the NXT Championship. You have Ciampa win back the NXT Championship. You have Ciampa win back the NXT Championship. And when the show's over, when they do the credits again, Johnny comes back, greets Ciampa, and then Gargano turns heel on Ciampa. Remember how back in 2017, where Ciampa turned his back on Gargano? Back in 2017 in Chicago at that takeover? Ciampa is going to be in the receiving end of what he did to Gargano back in 2017. And then from there, you have Gargano versus Cole. No, you have Gargano versus Ciampa at TakeOver Tampa. WrestleMania weekend next year. Hell in a Cell for the NXT Championship. Oh, but what do you do with Matt Riddle? What do you do with Matt Riddle? What if Matt Riddle turns heel and he faces Ciampa at TakeOver Houston for the NXT Championship? What if? That'll be on the realm of possibility. What if Matt Riddle turns heel and he faces Ciampa for the NXT Championship at TakeOver Houston with Ciampa winning? And then Triple H has a second opportunity, a second chance. Sometimes in life, you don't get a second chance. This is Triple H's second chance to rewrite Ciampa's comeback against Gargano. You book Ciampa, Gargano, TakeOver Tampa, WrestleMania weekend, Hell in a Cell for the NXT Championship. And let it be the final match ever between Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. And then from there, Gargano gets called up to the main roster while Ciampa reigns in NXT until he decides to lose the NXT Championship. It's just that simple. I just gave you guys technically almost the entire card for TakeOver Chicago. Possibly an idea. Ciampa comes back during NXT TV. He comes back. He's announced that he's cleared. I would have Ciampa take the championship from Cole, have Gargano turn heel. Hell, I'll even go a step further. After TakeOver Toronto, we don't see Ciampa. No, we don't see Gargano until TakeOver Chicago. Until TakeOver Chicago. That's what I'm doing. That's it, guys. Cole retained the NXT Championship in a fantastic matchup. This show was just good. Was this show better than Double or Nothing? Yes. Was this show better than TakeOver 25? Yes. Has this show stole the entire month of August? You're damn right. Already. I'm getting the fuck up out of here because I'm tired and I gotta go to bed. I have work in the morning. And then from there, I'll give you guys SummerSlam review. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed NXT TakeOver Toronto, hit that thumbs up, leave a comment down below what you guys thought of NXT TakeOver Toronto. And then if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that subscribe button down below and turn those bells for all notifications. Check out episode 47 of the Reality Podcast. Live on next channel right now. Episode 48 of the Reality Podcast. Also NXT and SmackDown Live review. This is the official home of the Reality Podcast. So make sure you are connected with me on social media. Twitter, Chris from Loring and Snapchat, Chris was hated. And my schedule, Monday, Raw review. Tuesday, SmackDown Live review. Wednesday, NXT review. Thursday, episode of Crash Team Racing Nitro Fuel Road to Glory. And Friday, Saturday, Sunday episodes of The Reality Podcast right here on the channel. And I will see you guys tomorrow for SummerSlam review. There will be no podcast tomorrow. Because I have work in the morning. And then I'm going to be tired by the time I come home. So I just want to come home, relax, chill, live tweet with you guys about SummerSlam. And then from here, give you guys a SummerSlam review right here on the channel. Till then, I am Chris. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share the video all over social media. I will see you guys tomorrow for SummerSlam review. Until then, talk to you guys later.